Okay, hello everybody, welcome to this Google Hangout. Today I'm going to be looking at how to create engaging circles on Google+. So let's get started. What we're going to cover today, the points are: what are circles, the logistics of circles, using ripples, communities and shared circles. So first of all, we'll get started on what are circles. Lots of people seem to be confused by circles. There's a lot of confusion out there, but really once you get your head around it, it stays with you. So a circle is really just a group of people that you are following on Google+. So similar to Twitter, where you have followers, circles is just another word for that. So you can have as many circles as you want. And circles, like I just said, similar to Twitter lists, are just a way of organising the people you follow. As you can see there, I've got lots of different circles, and you can call them lots of different things, and you can have as many as you want. Okay, so you can give your circles different names. People will not know what circle you have put them in. This is private. So keep in mind that you can call your circles anything you want, and people won't know what circle you've put them in. So for instance, you could have a circle of your worst enemies or of people I hate, but people won't know what circle they're in. They won't know what they're called. They'll just know that you have put them into one of your circles. Something else to keep in mind, you can put the same people in multiple circles. So if the same person is relevant to a couple of circles, so say for instance, as you can see there, they're in the social media industry, but they're also maybe your work colleagues, and you've got one circle called social media, another circle called your work colleagues, and then you can put them in more than one circle. So I'll just go on the platform now and have a quick look at circles. So as you can see here, from the home profile, you can view all your circles if you go on the drop-down menu and click people, and this will bring up here. You've got some suggestions of people you may want to follow, but to actually see your circles that you put people in, you just click on your circles here, and that will bring up all your circles here, and you just click on each circle and it'll open it up, and you'll be able to see everyone in your circles. Okay, so next, understanding circles. So there's a few details which can be quite confusing. So some things to keep in mind. If someone is in one of your circles, you will see their content in your newsfeed. So exactly the same as Twitter. If you follow someone, you will see their content in your newsfeed. Same as Facebook. If you like someone, you'll see their content in your newsfeed. So that one's quite straightforward. So if someone is in your circles, but you are not in theirs, they will not see your content in their newsfeed. Same again, similar to Twitter and Facebook. However, the difference is that with Google+, you can choose to share a piece of content directly with a circle, and they will get a notification even if they are not following you. So for instance, if you wanted to create a circle of accountants, so you search for accountants, put all the accountants you found in a circle, named it accountants, and you then wrote a specific piece of content, a blog aimed at accountants, and you wanted to share that with your circle, then you could do that. You could share that with your circle, and even if they are not following you, they will still get a notification. So for instance, let's just show you what I mean by that. So you typed your post in here for your accountants, and then you didn't want to share it publicly, but you actually wanted to share it to a specific circle. So for instance, I'll just choose businesswomen there. You could then, you've got to write something, you could then click share, and clicking that means that everyone in that circle, if they're not following you, will get a little notification up here. You see that notification there? And it'll say Sarah Kerrigan has shared with you 5 top tips for accountants, or whatever that blog post is. Okay. Okay, so you can choose to share different pieces of content with different circles, like I just said then. So, you know, you can have very highly targeted content directed at different industries, different circles, rather than just producing, for instance, on Facebook and Twitter, you're just producing one piece of content for all your followers to see all the time. And with Google Plus, you can create different pieces of content and aim them at different people. Public content will be displayed on your profile, as well as showing up in mini feeds of people circling you. So as you just saw then, you don't have to choose a circle to share it with. You can just share it with the public, and that's visible to anyone then, and then that will show up on your public profile and in everyone's news feeds who are following you. Okay. Okay, so now we've got all the logistics of circles out the way. Let's move on to ripples. So, ripples are really useful for finding high engaged people on Google+. A really useful tool. So what you do, you just search for popular relevant content. So content that was related to your industry. So I'm sure you've all got blogs that you follow. For instance, the Made Simple group do company formations. And you know, so I follow things like Virgin Startup, Simply Business, popular blogs that you follow. So search for these blogs, and then you can actually view the ripples to see who has shared these blogs. And then you can circle those people and add them to a high engaged circle, and then aim to get them to circle you back by engaging and sharing with their content. So I'm just going to walk you through this in case you haven't heard of ripples and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a really useful way to find people who are engaging on Google Plus and then to connect with them. So let's think of a popular brand. So I mentioned Virgin Startup. So here we go. So we know that Virgin Startup, a lot of their content gets shared widely. It's very popular. So you choose any piece of content that you want. You would choose one that you can see has had a lot of interaction with. So that's had 6 pluses, 3 shares, 4 pluses, 3 shares. So look for the most popular piece of content. 8 pluses, 1 shares, and really it's the amount of shares which you're looking for in this case. So I think back up to the top, that one had 4 shares. This one's got 3 shares. So just click on the little arrow here and you'll see there, view ripples. Now this will bring up all the people who've shared that content, so you can actually see who shared that content, even though it's not showing anything at the moment. Maybe it's only had 1 public share, you can see there, and they don't show private shares. So that means that some people there have shared it privately, not publicly, like I just showed you. So we'll look at another one. View ripples. Again, this hasn't got any here. Bear with, some of these will. And I was looking the other day that there was lots. Okay, let's try this one. Here we go. Right. Not a great example, but we can see here that this piece of content has been shared by 1 person. So you can see this and then you can click on them. And you can then follow them and add them to your circle. So what you would do while using this strategy, you'd go around, search for content that had been shared, relevant content obviously, that is relevant to your industry, and find out the people who are engaging with that content, the people who are sharing with that content, similar to the content you're producing, and then you'd follow them and add them into your circle. So you might want to add them into a high engager circle, startup, industry startup, or whatever industry you're in. High engagers circle, I don't know, beauty and fashion. High engagers circle, so whatever content they're sharing, add them to a high engagers circle. So let's see if we can get a better example of that. No, not there. Okay, maybe this one. Again, only one person there, but you can see you can then click on the person, follow them, and add them to a circle. Let's look at something really popular, maybe something like Bentley, people pages. I don't know if Bentley have got a Google Plus page. Let's see if they do. Bentley Motors. Okay, here, click on this. View ripples, haha, this is what we want. So you can see here, lots and lots of people have shared this piece of content. So you just go around following all these people and adding them to your circles. So here you just put high engagers, car industry, whatever you want. And then what you do then, once you've added them to your circles, ideally then you want them to follow you. So as I said here, then you then aim to get them to circle you, sorry, use the right terminology, aim to get them to circle you by engaging and sharing with their content. So you've got them all in that same circle, so you can just go straight to your circle easily. You've got them all segmented, so you're not going to lose them. So you go to people, go to your circles, whatever circle you put them in, engagers, and then so you'd frequently go back and you'd view the circle. So you can actually do that this way as well. When you're on your home page, you just pick your circles down here. So for instance, I had engagers, you choose that circle, and then you can see all their content coming up here because you're following them obviously. You go through and any content you found relevant, you can +1 it, you can interact in conversation with them, and pretty much guaranteed if you're commenting and interacting with them, they're going to follow you back. That's pretty much guaranteed on Google+. All the active users on there are very active because there's not as many people on there as Facebook. So that's why it's so great. Okay, so that's that strategy there. So let's go through it again. So you'd search for popular relevant content related to your industry, as I showed you. You then view the ripples to see who shared that content, see what people are engaging with it. You then circle those people, add them to one of your circles and give it a specific name so you know where they are. And then you go through and start engaging with them and get them to follow you back and circle you back. Then you know they're going to, if they're engaging a lot of other people's content that you're producing similar style content to, then hopefully they'll start engaging and sharing your content too. So that is a really effective way of getting people who are interested in your content and people who are going to engage with your content and people who are active on Google+. So those are the 3 things you want. Okay, a tip here, connect with bloggers. Bloggers are often very active on Google+. So one of the things you need to remember about with Google+ is it's not necessarily finding the same target audience as you would with your other social media platforms. With Google+, a lot of people say is their biggest worry about Google+, is no one's on it. People are on it, but there's no point looking for people, your target audience, who aren't on it and trying to connect with them if they're not active on it. So what you need to be doing is finding the people who are active on it, because most people are on Google+ for SEO reasons and to make your content visible. So the number one thing you need to remember is that the more your content gets shared and engaged with on Google+, the more visible Google will make it in its search. So there's no point going and adding your customers on Google+ if they're not active on Google+. There's just no point at all. They won't be engaging with your content, they won't be following with you. What you need to be doing is finding the people out there who are active and who are going to engage with your content so you can boost that up the Google search and make it more visible. So bloggers, lots of bloggers are on Google+. Why? Because they have Google authorship, because they're blogging and they're trying to do exactly the same thing as you. They're trying to get people to engage with their blogs so they become more optimized in Google search. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go to people and you need to search for bloggers. If you want, you can make it more industry specific. If people come up, you could search for, I don't know, food bloggers, fashion bloggers, motorist bloggers, whatever you're in. But again, remember that you want people who are going to be engaging with you. So then you can just go around, and as you can see, I've already added all these people. I've added them and I've put them in a blogger's circle. Some of them are in more than one circle. As I said before, you can put people in multiple circles if they're relevant for lots of different industries. Okay, so it's as easy as that. So you go around putting all these people in your blogger's circle, and then, because bloggers are great at interacting, you then, as I said before, you go back to your home, you'd go and you'd find your blogger's circle, and then you'd go through and you'd engage with your blogger's content, interact with them, and hopefully get them to follow you back. So you can see here lots of interaction going. Look, all this interaction on all these blogging posts because they're so active. And if you're active, if you're plus oneing people's content and commenting on it, it's very much they'll do it back mindset. Okay, so that's another tip there. Okay, so now moving on to communities. Communities are another great way of finding active people on Google+. So remember, what you want to keep in mind this whole time is who is active on Google+, who is going to engage with my content and share with my content. It doesn't matter if they're not your customers, it's about people engaging and sharing your content. So communities are a great way to find active Google+ users. So Google will actually recommend some communities for you. That's obviously based on your about section, what kind of stuff you post, what hashtag you use, all sorts of stuff like that. So if you're always using Business Training Made Simple social media hashtags, then Google Plus recommends a lot of social media communities for us. That's the business. And then once you join these communities, you directly connect with people from the communities and follow them, and then hopefully they will follow you back. But it's just a great place to go, and you'll find lots of high engagers all in one place because people who join communities are normally active on Google+. Okay, so if we go and look at the Communities tab here. Okay, so these are my communities. These are communities I've joined here. Got Grow Your Network, UK Connect, Social Media, Content Marketing, Social Media, Many Bloggers. That's a private community there, so you can create private communities yourself. And these are communities that I've actually been invited to that I haven't responded to yet. So people can invite you to communities also. If you click on Recommended for You, this is all the communities that Google Plus has recommended for me. So if you're not sure, if you're a bit lost, you're not sure what communities to join, it's helpful just to go through the recommended ones, take a little look, and join these. Just click join, it'll take you through. So for instance, once you're on a community, let's say you can go through and let all these people, all these active Google Plus members, so you can go to then start commenting, sharing, interacting with these people on Google Plus, follow them, put them in your circles, and you can put them in a circle, you can call the circle the community if you want to remember where you found them. So I could create a circle and call it Grow Your Network, circle, Grow Your Network Community, and follow all these people who are in the community, and then they're most likely to follow you back, especially if you're engaging with and sharing their content. So bear in mind, most communities do have guidelines. You'll see them once you've joined. Be sure to stick to these guidelines or you may get thrown out and blocked. So here you see an example of this. Most communities will have guidelines down here. So they usually ask you to say hello, introduce yourself. Communities as well quite commonly have these different sections here. So depending on what your post is about, depends on what your which section you want to post under. So for instance, if I want to say hello, I can click here, and then I'll say hello and introduce myself. If it's a business news that I'm posting about, click on business news and post it there. And then all posts will just be all the posts in one as they come. Most communities as well also say the biggest thing which most communities don't want is spammers. They don't want people just coming on to their communities and posting links. They don't want businesses just posting links to their blog and not saying anything and not engaging. That's not how it works. Normally they ask you to engage first a few times. It's fair enough, you can post your own blog post, but you want to put a little introduction, a bit about it, ask questions and engage back with people who are engaging with it and engage with other people's content. So it's very give and take. So it's very, you engage with people and then engage back with you, which is only fair. So you're not getting this one-way spam of people just dumping their links. Okay, so that's communities. So just to review that, so look at what communities are recommended to you by Google, and you can directly connect with people in those communities because they're likely to be high engagers. Okay, shared circles. So what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually choose to share your circles that you've created with other people. So if you think you've created a really good circle on fashion bloggers and you want to share that with other people, then you can do so. And you can also add other people's circles that they have shared. So, for instance, this is a good way of quickly growing your network. So if you go to people, and then you type in shared circles, you'll find all the circles that people are sharing. You can go through here and look if any of these circles are relevant or interesting to you and add circles at a time. And people normally put a bit about each circle. So I might say if it's a specific circle in the industry, some of them are just quite general. So here goes the circle of bloggers in their blog. Perfect. So here's 60 bloggers. Someone has put in all in one circle, found them, put them in a circle for you, and you can just add the whole circle. So what you can do then, you can bloggers, and you can add blogger circle. Sometimes if it's a really big circle, you can see some of those, see in there, it comes up there, and you can see some of those circles had 400 people in. It'll only add a certain amount. Google Plus will only let you add a certain amount of people in one day to stop you mass following everyone. So what I'll do, sometimes I'll come up with an error, because if there's 400 people in a circle, it's too many people to add in one go. But it'll come up with an error saying, and that even if you cancel it, it'll allow you. Google Plus will add as many people as it can up until that limit, but it won't add everyone in the circle. So then you go back the next day and add some more people. Add some circles. So that's a really, really handy way of quickly growing your circles. And if you want to be included as well in these circles, because oh look, you came up anyway. A lot of them will say if you share this circle and comment, then you'll get included into this circle. So then that means that people then who go adding these circles, people are going to be adding you, because if you're in one of these circles, then that means you're going to get lots of followers as well. So it's quite good to aim to get in some of these circles. Find a circle that's relevant to your industry, or if it's a high engager circle, and you need to make sure you're a high engager to be in those circles, otherwise it'll get taken out. But it's great to get into that circle, and then you'll also get lots of followers. Okay, so that's a really, really quick and really useful way to grow your followers quickly. Okay, so that's it. That's 4 quick strategies on how to create an engaged following on Google+. That's really handy. Find that relevant content, find people who are sharing it and follow them. Next, connect with bloggers. Bloggers are always high engaged on Google+. Google+ is their best friend. They have Google authorship. It gets their content out there. So you'll always find active bloggers on Google+. Join and engage with communities. Again, communities are just groups of engaged Google+ users. So it's such a great way to get your content engaged with and start making conversation. And like I showed you just then, search for relevant shared circles to quickly grow your following. And doing all those things in no time at all, literally you'll go from 0 to hundreds of followers in a very, very short amount of time. If you're doing this every day, even just half an hour every day, an hour every day, it'll really make a huge difference and you'll grow your followers very, very quickly. Okay, thanks for listening. That's all for me now. Bye.